Hello and welcome to the video on HCM Extracts. Today we'll be talking about what is HCM Extracts and that comes with the Fusion application and all things related to it. Now before we go into Extracts, let's take a look at the data interaction that happens in Fusion. Remember, Fusion database is a black box, literally, where you don't have direct access to the tables. You can only use means provided by Oracle to insert data into the database tables. And also to take data out of the system, you also need the tools that are provided by Oracle. Now, broadly speaking, we know that there's two types of interfaces. One is the inbound interface where data is moving into Fusion application, and then you have the outbound database where the data is going out from the Fusion set of tables, whether it's HCM or financials or procurement, sales, marketing, doesn't matter. Fusion tables. So commonly these are called as inbound interfaces when data comes into Fusion tables, and outbound when data goes out from the Fusion tables. Now, when we use an extract to take data out of the system, we can do that in various formats. We can use an email, we can do a XML, we can do an Excel, we can do a DAT, CSV, TXT, PDFs. There are various kinds of formats that are supported by different tools. So it could be a BI tool where you send out emails through bursting, or it could be a extract where you generate the file, an XML file, or a comma separated text files and send that out. And that could be part of your outbound interface. So you run the processes, you run the extracts to get the data out and send it to the feeder, the source, the target application. The inbound, on the other hand, when data is coming in, you use tools like APDI, HDL, HSDL. APDI is the file-based data import. HDL is the HCM data loader. HSDL is the HCM spreadsheet data loader. These we'll see in our next video. And the file formats that are supported as far as inbound is concerned is again a wide range of formats, starting from Excel, DAT, CSV, TXT, and whatnot. So in a nutshell, you can import data, bulk data into Fusion, protecting the data integrity of the application. You can follow the application validations, ensure that no data gets messed up, and you can use different means for different modules, depending on your solution and the best option of doing it. And outbound, like I said a few minutes back, you can use BI extract or BI in reports, or you can use the OTBI tool itself, or you can use the extracts to send data out from the application, depending on what and how you need that data to go out. Now, this specifically concentrates on the outbound interface where we are talking about the extracts, and extract is a very, very useful tool to have, and you can extract data using what Fusion provides as user entities, which are widely used to extract bulk data. And again, the data can be used as per your need, as per your requirements, and you can use it for different means as per your need. So coming to HCM extracts, HCM extracts is a way to retrieve data in bulk from the HCM cloud. Okay, and it's basically a tool for generating data files and reports. You can combine your the BI templates, the RTF templates also to get easy to read kind of front end for your data, or you can generate XML files also as per your need. HCM extracts have a dedicated interface for specifying the records, attributes which have to be extracted. And with this tool, you can identify records for extraction using a complex selection criteria. So you can use multiple tables, multiple columns, a wide range of you know varying from different tables. So all those things can be combined in different ways. And you can also define the data elements using fast formula database items and rules so that you can have your own small formulas that will be used to generate the outputs. You manage HCM extracts either in the data exchange work area or using the checklist interface in the payroll work area. We'll look into the data exchange part of it a little later in this video, so you'll get a feel of how it looks. One can also run extracts using the Flow Action service web service from outside Oracle HCM Cloud. So in case you are planning to run an extract from outside HCM Cloud, that also you can. This feature enables you to automate the outbound extract as part of an overall integration flow. So you can have these extracts get automatically kicked off as and when needed. So in short, HCM extract is a data extraction tool to take data out of Fusion application. Data needs to be sent to external applications like payroll, loan providers, insurance providers, and others, where you need to know how much each person or employee is contributing and what is their deductions or what are their contributions, so that they can be accounted for in the respective systems. Extract can deliver data through FTP, email, or content server. The files so extracted can also be encrypted so that no unauthorized access can be had to these files, because these files contain a lot of confidential data, sometimes even secure data. So you need to have the data properly protected. It can be easily integrated with BI to present data in a variety of formats: Word, PDF, TF, Excel, whatever means you want. It supports changes in mode. So it supports changes only mode. So you can also roll back the changes or whatever extracts you have done, and a huge volume of data can be extracted. Okay, so just to go back to the previous point, you can do an extract in changes only mode. So you can do a full extract, and you can also do a changes only mode, where the changes only will do a comparison with the last full run and only bring in those changes that have been modified over a period of time. Now, these are the different types of HCM extracts that one can have. The first is the full profile, which is used for complete employee and payroll data archives. Typically, this is used for the first time when you are integrating with a new application, with a new payroll application, or with a new vendor. So they need the complete employee profile. Then you also have the payroll interface, which is used for providing data to third-party payroll service providers, where you get the complete payroll information, element information, payroll, benefits, all that data is combined into the payroll interface. Then it's the payments interface, how much has to be paid. Um, it could be used for sending to the bank, for effecting the bank transfer from the company bank account to the respective employee bank accounts. Benefit carrier, these are used for providing data to third-party benefit service providers. Archive retrieval, this is used for reports based on permanently archived data. For example, payslip, where you want to keep a copy of the data for for maybe a review or for edit purposes in future. You might need end of year archive. This is used for end of year archives where HR benefits, etc. These are taken care of. HR archive is used for all HR archives. So all HR data can be archived. Payroll archive is used for payroll or payslip archives data, where all data related to payroll is archived. And then you have other payroll archives, which is used for all other payroll related activities. Could be prepayments, could be costing, could be other payroll processes. A quick comparison between HCM extracts and the BI or OTBI. HCM extracts supports changes only feature. BI or OTBI reports do not support the changes only features. So they cannot identify the changes only records by itself. Of course, you have to write a query to get the updated data, but it cannot, BI/OTBI cannot identify record or the changes which have been done in correction mode. Extracts, on the other hand, can identify records updated even in correction mode. You can use fast formulas for additional computations in HCM extracts, doing calculations or doing decoding and stuff like that. BI/OTBI, on the other hand, does not support fast formulas or custom PLSQL functions. HCM extracts uses user entity objects, which are like views, which have SQL behind the scene that cater to the different data, different types of data, whether it's payroll, absence, HR, benefits, and so on. Data can be fetched directly from the base tables in BI/OTBI, or you can also use the subject areas which have been provided in Fusion. Now, there are three important extract entities that we need to understand. One is data group, another is the record, and third is the attribute. Data group is representing a business area or a logical entity. For example, person or assignment or organization or benefits. And the data group will have one root data group, which is quite like your starting point for the application to start the extract process. It's always tied up with the user entity. So the data group is linked to your user entity. Within the data group, you can have one or more records. Records are a collection of individual fields. Those fields may be related to each other, and they are, so for example, you have a data group of employees and you can have a record of basic details, employee basic details, or the employee pay details, or the location details, contacts, etc. Phones, emails, security, like that. And finally, the attributes. These are the individual fields that go inside the extract record. Okay? So three important extract entities: data group, extract records, and attributes. So here's a example of extract design where we are looking at an org or person info, where we are going to have two data groups, an org data group and a person data group. The org data group has two records. One is the org header, the other is the org trailer. So one could come in the beginning, one right up at the end. And then you would have the person data group, which has the person record, and the individual fields or the attributes that go into each of them. Org header has org name, org location, could be city, country, state, depending on the user choice. And the org trailer record will have the record number of record, or the record number 1239999XXX, and number of employees that belong to that organization. So based on the total number of employees in that organization, you would get the corresponding details over here. You would get the person number, the person name, the date of birth, the gender, the salary, the HRA, etc. Okay, and if you want to derive the HRA, you need to have a fast formula which will look at the salary and derive 50% of the salary. Next, typically once you have defined the hierarchy as per your need, you can see it over here once you get into the advanced edit. Okay, so this is the hierarchy on the left. You can see this hierarchy. So you can view this. This is the name of your extract. These are the data groups, the department and the employees. Okay, and departments have two records. One is the department details, the other is the department summary. And then you have the employee details where you can see the employee related attributes. And you have the department related attributes, the summary attributes. And under the extract delivery options, you have the XML output where you can see the different outputs that you can define: XML output, delivery, PDF, or email and stuff like that. And then you have the extract execution tree where you have an option of exporting the schema design, and you can also compile all the formulas, and you can also validate whether the extract is valid or not. So when you do the validation, initially the system, the valid would be blank. And once you validate it and system finds that the extract is completely valid, the valid value is going to change here. All right. So you should always, when you define an extract, validate it, ensure all your formulas are properly compiled, and then use it. And you can do an export of the schema in order to generate your RTF file of the values that you're getting in the XML output. Because XML output, again, is not very easy to read for the end users, but the same data which is going in XML format, you could generate in an RTF where the user can get it in a PDF or in Word format, and it's easier for them to read it. Besides, you can also have different layouts. Okay, so you could have a layout. Let's say you have the payroll data, so you could have a layout for the CFO where he gets the entire salary amount that needs to be paid out. You have the payroll manager where a view output for the payroll manager where he can see how much is the employer contributions for the benefits contributions, how much is coming off from the salary account, how much is the contribution of the company for the employer charges and the employer contributions, taxes, and so on. So, and then you have the detailed view for the payroll administrator where you can see element-wise breakup. So depending on your requirement, you could have different delivery outputs defined over under the extract delivery option. Okay. Now moving on, we have HCM extracts. If they were defined as an SQL, you would have the data group, which is basically the user entity, which is the starting, the root data group, and where you could have conditions, data group filter criteria. So typically it is like select star from, and you provide the root data group, which is X1, and then you have the X2, which is again a data group, 2, which is person details. So the link between the two would be the connect data groups. So you join these two, X1 and X2. They are like two different tables that you're joining. X2.person ID is equal to X1.person ID. Okay, and that's how you define them. And coming to user entities, user entity is the name of the query that is used for fetching the required data. So here are a couple of examples which relate to the department or the employee information. So if you look at the user entity name, per is the person, extract, secured person, user entity. So per, ext, sec, person, ue. They all end with ue. The purpose of this user entity is to retrieve all person across the enterprise, and all person related attributes can be found here. The next one is the per ext sec assignment ue. So this will retrieve all person assignment data across the enterprise and all assignment related attributes. Per ext pay employees ue retrieves all workers and their payroll across the enterprise, all person, worker, payroll related attributes, and element entry data. So based on your requirements, you would be using these user entities in the respective data groups. There are numerous seeded extracts provided by Oracle relating to work structures, person, elements, payroll, absences, benefits, and so on. So you need to look through the user entities when you're defining your extract to identify the best one that gives you the required attributes. Now, there's no, again, when you're defining them, you might need to choose one or two of them and experiment them and come up with the ideal one that you need to use. So this is typically how a full file would look. So you could have a file like, employee number, employee name, gender, date of birth, and this could be the basic salary, HRA, and then maybe your traveling allowances or education allowance and so on. So the entire file, so this is a full file. That means each and every employee record would be seen in this file. Every record of employee is present. Full file is usually sent when the systems connect for the very first time. Thereafter, changes only file is sent, although some systems use full file each time. So it would be the target system which will be driving what you need and what you don't need, whether it's going to be a full file each time or a changes only file. Okay. Now, the other important aspect of the extract is the changes only mode. So changes only mode will have different modes. So there's one where we say changes attribute, change attributes, where we are looking at comparing this extract run with the previous extract run and returns the entire hierarchy for the data that has changed. Then we have the changed and marked attributes, which includes elements that have changed or are marked as changed. Changed and marked attributes with previous values. So here you will see not only the changed values, but also their previous values. So you will see the old value and the changed value. Changed marked attributes, previous data under threading group. So this is important. Displays the following data under threading data group. So which means that any changed data, the data is marked as changed, and it will also show you the previous value and the parent data group values. So when we talk about the threading data group, we are talking threading item maybe. A threading item could be something like person ID. So all changes related to that person ID in the other records, for example, person details, email, phone number, contacts, all those changes will be pulled in under the threading database. Similarly for assignment, wherever you have assignments, wherever you have things relating to that assignment ID, you would see all of that coming together. So this is a typically extract definition that you see. And in case you are doing a changes only, then you need to ensure that one, the changes only is shown as yes. And it shows up over here. The changes only parameter has to be turned on so that you can choose at the time of submitting the extract. The next step is that in the root data group, okay, so this is the root data group, okay, so we have to set the threading database item and the threading action type. The threading database item uses a relevant ID from the user entity like a person ID or an assignment ID. And the threading action type is set to object action. So all actions, all changes relating to that particular object could be picked up. Changes only extract. So this is the at least one attribute has to be marked as a key attribute. You can have more than one attribute also marked as a key attribute, but the intent of this key attribute is that for that particular attribute, it's going to look for changes. Okay, all that changes that have happened since the last run. Any attribute that needs to be always shown should be marked as always displayed. Now on the side, you see here that when we define an extract, you can see the data group, you can see the hierarchy, the data group, the two data, within the data group, you have the departments and the employees. And within the department, you have two records, the department details and the department summary. And within the employees data group, you have the employee details record. And the extract delivery option is the, you define the XML output or the PDF, RTF output as per your need. And the extract execution tree, you must ensure that your extract is valid and you can compile the formulas in one shot from there. And this is how a typically changes only file looks like. You have the person number or full name. Person number is the key attribute in this case. So if there are changes to the person's name, you have the full name, new full name. Then you have the old date of birth, new date of birth. Then you have the old gender, new gender. You have the old salary, new salary. So it will show you the changes that have happened to the person number. Okay. Person number is always displayed. Changed attributes are displayed along with old and new values. Okay. And in the example below, you have something similar where you have again the changes and all that. Person number is changed and they are exactly similar. Okay. Now, depending on what changes have happened, you have more examples. This is another example of a changes only file. You may not always have the column header. Okay, you may just have the data only which is visible. Then you have the attribute properties. Okay, so remember about the attributes. Key attribute, the driving attribute that marks all other attributes in the record for changes. Okay, you always display means it will always appear with or without the changes. Marked or changed property means any change to the other attributes in the same record would be marked as changed and pulled in the extract. Changes only file is compared with the last full run file and the unidentified changes are passed in the file. There are different types of extract fast formulas that are created, and you can use the extract definition window itself to generate these fast formulas. If you are using calculation criteria or you're using decoded database item type and things like that. You can also have a fast formula to create the custom schedule pattern. You can have a fast formula to restrict data in the data group filter criteria. You can also have the fast formula to derive an attribute in a record. Okay, and this fast formula is used to add any custom attributes which are not available in the user entity. Or sometimes, you might have to get the meaning of a lookup value. For example, gender, you might have male, female, M or F, but you want to display male or female, then you need to get the corresponding value from using a fast formula. Some more interesting features about extract in the when you do an extract definition, it's always a good idea to take an export out of that particular definition and keep it aside in your local machine, because in case something happens to your extract, or the system gets refreshed, you'd still have your the exported definition. And the good thing about this is this is very fast and very easy to do. So when you go to the extract definition window, you have your extract, and over here, as you can see here, this is the one which is marked in red. So that's the icon for doing an extract. But remember, the XML file does not contain the fast formulas. Those you might need to generate or create separately and then link it within your extract once you import it. So once you have done an export, and then you can go to any other instance, or you can import it into the same instance, and you can go to the extract definition screen, and here's the import icon which you can click. Suppose you have your original extract as SPHR data extract, and then you are importing the extract as a changes only extract, then you can do the extract from here. And you can tag it with the legislative data group in case you want to use it. And you can you need to take the changes only in case you want this to be a changes only file, and then you import it. Once you select the XML which was extracted, you can just quickly select it and then say OK, and system is going to bring all of that in. Now, when you're importing it, remember you may need to link it with your legislative data group if required. Now, you can also set up dynamic date parameters. This is often important because extracts you might have to manually give a definition date, or you might have to give them, if you plan to use it through some automatic means, or you want it to be submitted automatically as per a schedule, you need to have the dynamic date parameter set. In that case, once you have defined the data extract, you go to the refine HCM extracts and select the payroll flow. And then you go to the payroll flow, and on the effective date, okay, you need to set the parameter basis to context binding, okay, and the basis value to system date. So which means system will pick it up based on the current system date. So if you plan to submit it at free on a schedule every day, so you will have it, today will be today's date, tomorrow will be tomorrow's date. So the date parameter will be automatically updated. Now we also have something called as the e-text extract. E-text extract is used when you need to extract and send non-XML files, but yet they need to be separated by a particular symbol. So these can be, the files can be separated, the data can be separated by comma or a vertical bar or a dollar or a hash, depending on what you choose. The files can be of fixed length as well, so where you can have name as 20 characters. Anything more beyond 20 characters would be chopped off and things like that. Date of birth is 12 characters, etc. So if the length of any value is less than the number of characters, then blank spaces would be left. If the length is more than remaining characters, it get chopped off. Usually used when sending files to bank for payment files. So banks often use these type of files to import the payment information. Now, coming to navigation. Navigation, as far as extract is concerned, is very straightforward. From the home page or from the springboard, you can go to my client groups, data exchange, HCM extracts. And within the HCM extracts, you have multiple options. View extract results, which is to view submitted extracts. Extract definition, to define new extracts, to review existing extracts, to make a copy of the existing extract. Refine the extracts, to view payroll flow patterns, and to make any changes, just like we talked about defining date parameter, dynamic date parameter. You can submit extracts by going to submit extract option. And you can view the user entity details to view the definition of user entities. And when you go to the define extract page, and you have defined your new, you can define your new extract by clicking on this plus sign. And once you have defined it and you want to come back to it, you will see multiple icons over here. What do they mean? The first one is for lock or unlocking the extract. Once you lock it, no further changes would be allowed. The next one is to view the hierarchy within the extract, data group, record, and so on. And how do the data groups talk to each other? The next one is to do an export, and the one with the cross is to do the delete. The next one is to do a copy of an extract. So that's again something which is very useful when you are defining your extract for the very first time and you want to make changes to the defined one, but you don't want to start from scratch. So it saves you an awful lot of time. The next one is to view the extract run details. And after that is the advanced edit. Once you click on the advanced edit, you would be going to the extract definition page where you can see the extract definition, the delivery options, and the execution tree. And finally, the last icon is the submit extract, from where you can submit the extract from here itself, from the extract definition page itself. And once you submit it, you go and review the output. So that's so much as far as the extracts are concerned, and we'll be happy to, if you have any questions or anything that you want to us to look into, respond to. And thank you very much for watching this, and hope to catch you in another video. Thanks. Keep watching.